back, family, to another episode of Jedi Learning with Baba Kenwoud. And today's question is, are people like Polite, City, Young Pharaoh scheming on a community? Now, I had to come up with this question because I've been coming across a few posts, a few articles, and just some videos recently that's showing that different people in the community are up to some schemes and not doing what they necessarily say that they up to. And what does this imply? This implies not only that it's people out there scheming, but also that it's an audience out there that's ready to be schemed. Remember, do not scheme against people because the nature will punish accordingly. Now, what does that mean? It means that you will get your due. The feather of Ma'at will deal with you. Yes, your harmony, your reciprocity, your balance will come in due time. As long as you keep scheming, that's what will happen. And I find it really, really interesting. When I did the research on the word scheme, that schema actually came from Greek, like a lot of our words do, but it originally meant the diagram of the stars and the celestial bodies. So it really came out of a really good place originally. But now, currently, scheming has turned into something that means plotting or has a negative connotation. And that comes around the 18th century when English gets a hold of it. But the main question that we got to deal with is, are these people up to schemes? So when you break down what a scheme is a plan or a plot that is devised to bring financial material gain to one person while excluding others. And also, it is intent to hurt or harm other people. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at some of these folks and see if this is really a scheme that they pulling on us. Now, you say Young Pharaoh, he's putting out videos. He's putting out albums, music. Now, can this be said as a scheme? Well, I would not necessarily say that that's a scheme. If people want to engage in that and want to listen to it, then they need to go ahead and do that. He's not promising you anything. He is just saying, this is what it is. And in that sense, he gets a check and he gets cleared. But let's take people, let's say, like Brother Umar Johnson, who has promised you something, promised you a school, promised you this, promised you that. And in the end, when he didn't get what he wanted, he called you trifling. Now, if you believe that you're trifling, then you should be trifling and you should take that on. But to me, it sounds like a scheme. When you promise somebody something, you don't deliver, and when you don't get what you thought you was about to get, you start going off on the other people, that's a scheme. Let's continue. You got Brother Polite. He also, from my knowledge, has not promised you anything. And you know what? To take a little bird walk real quick, if you're thinking that these people are about to lead you anywhere in the first place, you have a problem. The only person who's going to lead you somewhere is yourself, because that's the ultimate leader. We always talk about the science of the master and how you really the master. But let's get back to it. He said he produced 50 books. We come to find out a lot of those was plagiarized. We come to find out a lot of those was not necessarily true or fact-based. But he gave them to the people bought them. They should have done their research if they didn't really want to get schemed. But he promised you something that you did not necessarily get, okay? And then he has taken all of this and has aggrandized himself, brought himself up, while leaving everybody else there in the dust, okay? He went to Hollywood on y'all, just like that. But let's keep going. Seti, this is another person who I don't know has promised anybody anything, but he is giving you information to help uplift the community. Now, just because people go out there and they put out videos or they put out audio recordings or they put out books that help to uplift you does not necessarily mean that because they're not putting out a tangible product that they don't have something good to say and that that's not worth anything. The fact alone that is motivating you should be good enough. Now remember, if a person says, I will scheme for my own personal benefit, they will not have food for their mouth. If a person says, I will trap for my profit, they will not be able to trap for anybody else's. And trapping is real popular these days. I don't care if it's trap music, trap drums, or the trap itself. But the key to this is, who's getting schemed and why are they getting schemed? So back to Seti. He's not promising you anything. He's just saying, this is what it is. I'm telling you my perspective of it. You can take it or you can leave it. Okay, he's not saying follow me nowhere, or I'm going to take you and lead you to this promised land. So to me, that does not sound like a scheme. Now, I'm giving you information, but you got to do your own research. And that's another problem with our neighborhood. We don't do no research. We take stuff for granted. We take stuff that other people give us, even what I'm saying right now. Go back and research it, and then you come to your own determination. Don't let people fool you and pull the wool over your eyes and pull the okie doke. Like my auntie used to say, I ain't the one. I ain't gonna fall for the okie doke, okay? So don't be the one, don't fall for the okie doke. But just remember, the schemes that people pull will not make them prosper in the end. If you steal from people, you will end up being given to a stranger. And that stranger's name today is Corrections Corporations of America. Yes, behind bar. Or Officer McNally, or O'Toole, or Johnson, or whoever the case may be. So, don't scheme on the community. Don't steal from people. Don't promise them something you can't deliver on, because only you will have to pay in the end. Now, hopefully you took these words and you could use them, because this is Bobbikin 2 with another episode of Jedi Learning, signing off, and we hope to see you soon. Peace.